What's up, guys? Your girl Luca here. Luca Teal, yes, the Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario, the Ashen Luca. It's me. I'm here with another episode of the show. It has been quite some time since I was last here, and I'm ready. I'm ready to have a conversation about several things that have happened in the last week. I will say this: when there's actually things to talk about, I get excited to be here, excited to do the show because I have a lot to say on a matter, or it's just interesting to hear people talk about certain things. So I'm definitely looking forward to this, the conversations that spawn based on some of the incidents that have occurred this week. Now, mind you, I have gotten into not fights, okay, not fights, not arguments, all right, with a couple of strange people. All right, let me make it clear, okay? I love anime. I am a big fan of anime. Been watching anime since I was a kid, right? We all know that there are certain things in anime that are not okay. They're just like not appropriate at all, right? And so when it comes to like an anti-censorship conversation, it just seems to pull these kinds of strange folks. They just show up like fucking rats, all right? Like fucking mice. They come scurrying about with their strange hot takes. And then you look through their profile and you have certain things verified for you. All right? You look through their profile and they verify that thing that you were suspecting based on how they structured their sentence and what they said. And there are some people like I will listen. The people who are all for Stellar Blade are now against the game because the developers opted to quote unquote censor a couple of things. There is like this bathing suit that Eve wears. Now, me personally, I feel like what they put over over Eve's like body, but still under the suit. I was like, this is kind of like this. It's lacy, sexy underwear. You know what I'm saying? But because you can't see her bare fucking skin, can't see her little tatas, right? People were like freaking out about that. And I'm just kind of sitting here and I'm just like scratching my head like I don't understand why this continues to be a conversation. And I feel like there can be room for nuance in said conversation if you don't like censorship. Like I feel like there can be room for nuance, but the issue is that everybody has this all or nothing kind of approach, and that all includes very sketchy things. So, I honestly, for some of these people, I don't feel like their arguments are in good faith. Therefore, I mean, honestly speaking, I don't argue with people in general, really. Like, I don't like to argue with people. It's a waste of my time. I'm older. I'm older now, all right? And I don't have the energy to be going back and forth with y'all. I don't know how y'all get the energy. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. It's this working from home culture, okay? Not to sound like a fucking boomer, but like staying at home 24/7 is just not good for your social skills. It's really, really not. It your social skills deteriorate if you're only ever around family and you never go out and you're never forced to act like a normal fucking person around people, you know? So people who already have very poor social skills, it just gets worse when you're working from home 24/7. Now me, I'm a fan of the hybrid schedule myself, but you know what? Whatever works for people, whatever, who cares, right? Ooh, but that being said, no, I definitely think that the more time you spend at home. But anyway, whatever. So, there I was wondering what kind of person, like you okay, Singer, you've heard those arguments where people are like, "Damn, I don't even know what your perspective is on this. I could be talking shit about you. My bad, man." Okay, so do you know those people where it's like that first instinct is to call someone like an incel and call them a loser and say they don't get any pussy, that kind of thing, right? Now, me personally, I'm not necessarily a fan of that kind of rhetoric. I think it's lazy rhetoric because I have also been called an incel. I have had a take that people did not like because it involved where I personally think that they are making female video game characters uglier. In my opinion, I think that's what's happening when in the West, right? So that's my perspective on it, and I don't like it. I like to look at pretty things, right? And because I have that viewpoint, I've been called a fucking incel. And I'm just like, okay, but that's like people don't know what I look like. They don't know anything about me. They only see one post and they make an assumption about me, right? And sometimes that works. It's all about context, right? But in this particular situation, I'm just like, I don't automatically jump to conclusions about who a person is, right? I take some time to try and gauge like what they're saying, what they're doing. I look through some of their posts to confirm or deny certain assumptions, right? But then, unfortunately, and I'm not going to post it cuz I don't want to make fun of how these guys look, right? Unfortunately, a petition went up by Grums. You know that guy Grums? It went up and it got like 24,000 signatures on it. They want a free Stellar Blade from the censorship, right? And you get the option to be like the top donators, the top investors, and you're looking at the top investors. Oh, Singer, I didn't even know you weren't in here, man. My bad. What's up, Nautical?
What up, dude?
What up?
What up? Does it still sound the same?
No, you sound so much better.
Oh, it's because there was conflicting software.
Okay. All right, cool. But yeah, it's because I took a look at who the top investors were, right? And I was just like, oh, if I say what I want to say, I'm going to get in trouble. Like, I'm going to be in big fucking trouble. Because, like, again, I try to not automatically jump to insults about how people look. I feel like, again, that's very pedestrian, it's boring, and it's easy. Now, that's just me. I am a bit of a cuck myself when it comes to being pretentious, right? So that's my perspective on it. But that being said, I took a look at the top investors for this stupid petition because I personally think the petition is really stupid. I think it's pathetic. My opinion, just my opinion. You are free to feel differently. If you are insulted and outraged by how I feel, I don't care, honestly speaking. But you are free to feel however you feel, and I am free to feel however I feel. If you are free to bring your feelings here, but I can't say that I'm going to care about them because I most likely will not, because I think this is strange. I think this is very strange behavior in my opinion. And I'm normally, more so on the side of the anti-censorship stuff, right? I usually lean more towards that, but it's very difficult for me to align myself with people who do things like this. This is the extremism I am speaking of. This is the extremism I talk about when I'm talking about people doing weird shit. And there's extremists on both sides, right? The anti-woke crowd and the woke crowd, there's fucking weirdos on both sides, right? And it's like that, again, that all or nothing kind of mentality. But again, I went to the petition, I saw some of the top investors, and I was like, okay, based on how these guys look, I can understand how they would fall under that category of being considered an incel. But you never really know. You never really know, right? You never really fucking know. You never fucking know about it. So that's my starting point. Let me go ahead and say what up to Meat Puppet member for 38 months. That is, appreciate you. You'll be re-upping, appreciate you. 32 months. That is. I'm gonna go ahead and say hi to people in the chat. Meat Puppet, Shogun, Arcade, Gregor, Blade X, Max, Raja, Dion, Nola, Stone King X. What's good? Ooh, Stellar Blade is better than I thought it would be. Yes, I agree. What's up, Teasy baby? What's up, Lino? How you doing, boo? What's up, the great Be Rich? Yes, I know I'm still young. What's up, Mary? So what's up, guys? How are y'all doing today? Corey, good to see you. Good to see you guys. What's up, Felix? Oh, shout out to Yobi with the big dono saying, I know I'm late, but happy belated birthday, Luca. I'm sorry. Did I yell too loud in the mic? Guys?
No,
You're
good? Okay. Thank you for always existing, and please, please, please never give up. Appreciate you. You are too damn important. I appreciate you too so much. Thank you so much, Yobi. Got nothing but love for this guy. This is one of the most positive people in the community, and he does his best to spread that positivity despite the fact that there's a bunch of cucks in this community, right? But anyway, I digress. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it as always, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's up, Mass Produce? Yell louder. Felix says, why would these dudes want their faces associated with that freaky ass petition? Because they lack social skills. All right. Listen, in my opinion, based on baseline behavior from what I've seen, right? You never really know a person. You never really know a person from who they are on the internet, right? You don't. But I feel like people have a extreme lack of social skills, which leads them to strange behavior, you know? And I saw a post earlier. It was a joke post about Scream 7's plot. I saw it. I was like, well, this is clearly a joke because there's no source. This account is known for joking, right? That's like anecdotal. That's my information. So I know that, right? But there was no source. I looked at the account. The account only had 500 followers, wasn't verified or anything. Not that verification means anything these days, but you know. So it's like, okay, this is a joke post. The post got more popular, and the amount of people who just blindly believe what this person is saying fucking astounds me. And it's just like, are we as a society just getting dumber? You know, like are people just get I showed it to my friend who also normally they don't do stuff like this, but I showed it to my friend. They took it seriously. I was like, you know this is a joke, right? And they're just like, oh. And I'm just like, oh, get it together.
You
That's
know,
fucking embarrassing.
you want to know why that happened?
Why did it happen?
Because you came to them and showed them something, and they thought in there, and this is something that happens across a lot of people. They trust what they see from the people that they trust. So if they see something and a person says, "Hey, look at this," and like for you to show him that or your friend that, he instantly thought in his mind like, "Oh crap, that's crazy." You know, you didn't put context to it and say that this wasn't real before you said it. So they instantly just went with, yo, that's crazy, you know, and then you said, oh, this is fake. And then you was like, oh,
Okay.
it,
I feel
so
like
it's
that's
just
my
more of
my
that.
expectations are just too high for people. That's what you're saying. Because this
No,
is
it's
very
not that.
obviously a joke fucking post. It
Yeah,
was
I don't
very
think it
obvious to
is.
me that it was a joke post. So my
Well,
expectations are too high for people. That's
no,
what you're
people
telling me.
just listen to other people and not go find out for themselves.
That's true. They said the same thing. You know, they were like, I trusted you, and that's why I didn't
Yeah,
question it. And my thing
yeah,
is, I
exactly. That's what it is.
my thing is, I just think that again, the way I approach things is just different because yes, I love my friends, but I'm always like double checking shit. Like you send me something, I'm gonna be like, I don't know if this is real or not. Let me look it up for myself. Let me try to find the source of it before I have a reaction one way or another. Because I have been sent things from friends where it's like they think it's real. It turns out it's not real. They got angry about something that wasn't even like a true thing. And it's just
Mhm.
like that challengers poster. I don't know, did you see it? You
Oh,
probably
that
did.
challenger's poster was absolutely hilarious.
It's so fucking
You,
funny.
the fact that you couldn't figure out that that isn't real, like
Insane. Fucking insane.
what marketing team in what highly paid marketing team for films would sit down and go, "This is a good look." None of them will. No, they'll throw that shit out the window.
My
Like,
thing is, I just couldn't believe it was real because Zendaya's on the project and her PR team they're fucking on point. So
yeah.
there's no way they would do something like this. So I was like, obviously this is fucking fake. That's why I said, what did I say? I was like, have some fucking decorum. All right, get that shit together because clearly it was fake. It was fake. I was like, this is obviously fake. But people believed it. People just blindly believe what they see. And it's very scary to me because AI is getting more, unfortunately, AI is getting more and more and more aggressively realistic. Okay, we're still a little bit off, but it's getting more realistic. And so it's gonna, even if you see a video on some things, you're gonna have to start second guessing and questioning things. So unfortunately, I just think that we are in the age of folks. You know, again, I blame work from home culture. Okay, there I said it.
Hey,
I said
Luca.
it again. Yeah.
Luca, you know what's crazy about the AI thing? It's like now it's getting super realistic. You could still kind of tell. Give
Yeah,
it 5 years, 5 to 10 years, you ain't gonna know the difference. No
I
way.
agree. I definitely
Like
agree.
5 years from now, someone could make a video of a president giving a speech of some random country, and everyone will believe it because you won't be able to tell, is it real, is it fake, who said this statement. Nah, it's over.
The
No,
funny
I
thing, yeah, the funny thing is people just haven't been, and this has always been kind of the norm for people. They don't really start, you know, questioning things until something that they believed in, something that impacts them personally, they get screwed over on because they believe something that wasn't real or something that happened. Most people walk around just oblivious because they're never in a situation where it impacts them to a level where they have to care about it. So that's when you start seeing people like question everything because something in their life happened where it was like, yo, I'm just about to question everything going forward. I don't believe none of this stuff. I'm gonna do my own due diligence. And that's where the world is now. And it's kind of always been that way. It's just that now, like you said, work from home culture, people not being out and about inside of and socializing with people to see how people are in the real life next to them in a job place or out in the streets or out in the club or just anywhere in general. You see so many people that haven't have the social skills to actually see and learn from that stuff as they go through life and grow up. Now they're just seeing a whole bunch of stuff on the internet, and that stuff can be anything it wants to be because of what age we live in now.
Yep, and that's why, like in the future, you have to question every little single thing you see.
Yeah.
Nothing is real, nothing is true, everything is fake until proven otherwise. Because it's gonna get so realistic, you ain't gonna be able to tell, so you're gonna have to sit back and go, I need to research this because you don't know. You just won't know.
Yeah. It's just I don't know, man. It's just fucking strange to me. It's weird, but whatever. So, I get you guys want to do the hard R? Fuck. Y'all want to do hard R or the petition first? Let's do the petition first. So, okay. All right. So, Grums, this X game developer, created a petition. You could just look up Stellar Blade petition if you want to go ahead and sign that, to each their own, right? But okay, so outfits were changed day one patch. All right. People, this article is saying they doubt it was for the censorship reasons. After all, there are still outfits that are very, they show a lot, right? There's still outfits that show a lot of skin. But people think it's for censorship reasons. That's the reason why they've gone about doing this little this little tantrum that they're throwing. Yeah, I'm being dismissive of it. It's a tantrum. All right, so here's the swimsuit outfit now. So as you can see, ass cheeks still out, but her titties are no longer showing. They were showing in the pre-patch version. Okay, instead of this nice lacy underwear, which again I just don't understand. Like why? I don't know. You don't want to unwrap something, you know? You don't want to. You don't like the tease. Just a little taste of something.
You know what's crazy about that?
I like my
Yo,
gifts.
Exactly.
that's half the fun of it. And then also, it's strange. It's like if you really care that much about it, if it really means that much to you, just wait till the PC version comes out and then just put some mods on it. You'll
Exactly.
get everything you want and more than what you could want. So just wait. If it's
Yeah,
really that big of an issue,
but by the time that happens, though, the controversy will be over and people will have moved on to the next thing. So the fact that this is a
yeah,
here and
true.
now, the fact that this is here and now is why people are upraising, crying about it. So,
I mean, personally, I can't wait for the PC version. But
oh no, well, from
yeah,
a gaming standpoint, absolutely, you can't wait for the PC version. But half these people aren't even thinking about playing the game, but
they're thinking about the controversy.
it's just the fact that it's another thing to cry and be and moan about.
And that's why I never got the petition. I'm like, none of it makes sense. See, I thought Stellar Blade might get some controversy when it came out, right?
On the
But I
opposite
didn't
end,
think
though, right?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be this. Like here, here we are now today. This was not what I envisioned, and I don't, I
Let's
don't
not
know.
like let's not like we didn't know that this woman wasn't gonna have clothes on for the majority of the game because that's what they kind of showed us in the trailers. She barely got clothes on now. It's probably
Yeah, I
gonna be a
know.
little. It's probably gonna be a little bit less. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
definitely
know.
hear you. Lionel says you can still get the uncensored version if you have the physical copy, and Grumps is 56.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just feel like that's just too old for this. Like I feel like that's
Mhm.
just you're doing far too much. That's just my opinion. That is just my opinion. I just think that there comes a time as an adult that you should shift your energies, get it shift up one way
Mhm.
or the other, right? But again, you can look at this website yourself. You can look at the top investors yourself. I won't show them on screen. Matter of fact, but I will drop this fucking link in the chat. I will surely do that. Uh, Give me one second. So you guys can go ahead and take a look at
Taking
these
care of
guys.
them.
And unfortunately, like there, it's giving dictionary definition of incel. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, man. But I said it. But anyway, Mark Kern, he says Stellar Blade is a phenomenal new game that launched on PlayStation 5 worldwide, but it has a problem. The content has been censored from the original trailer version posed by Sony. We, as gamers, want this content back. We relied on it. Okay. We made the game the number one pre order worldwide because of it, and this is the true game we want. Stellar Blade is more than a game, it has become a cultural beacon for freedom of expression in a time where game publishers like Sony are censoring games more than ever. Stellar Blade was a breath. Was a breath of fresh air, and gamer rally behind it because it meant things were changing, getting better, and the voice of creative freedom was ringing loud and clear. But for whatever for but for
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You have clearly not played many JRPGs, right? Or Korean games, or over in that. Because if you played a whole bunch of these Honkai Star Rail, the previous game, Hickey, like this is just the way they do stuff over there. So I don't know how it's this beacon of expression. They've been doing this for like the past 10 years.
Your face.
Like, where you been?
okay,
I'm just laughing at this. I'm looking at these pictures and these. My man, no, come on, man. You censorship in your face.
yeah, that is bad, dude.
I'm like I'm like looking like, yo, bro, you in your house, bro. Why do you got a mask
In his house, maybe? Okay, well,
in his house? But to each his own.
yeah. So,
Don't breathe
but
on me.
but for reasons unknown, the game was censored, changes were made. What we received after our good faith purchase was not the same as advertised, and that sucks because Sony will fuck you before you get your refund, right? Like that's a
Oh
typical
yeah, yeah.
process.
Oh, you
We
already installed
believe
the
in the
game.
game. We believe in the game. We believe in Shift Up, and we are asking to get the game we believed in. Revert the censorship changes, patch the game, and you will find that even more gamers will join you and support you. All gamers can help by signing this petition. It will be printed in Korea and delivered in Korea to Shift Up offices, and physically printed and delivered
Yeah,
to
good luck with that.
so,
Good.
We'll put it in the. They're gonna put it in the mailbox.
Yeah. Mhm.
delivered to Sony PlayStation North America offices. Spread this petition on social media with the hashtag #FreeStellarBlade hashtag. So, we all enjoy doing different things, and we're all free to do different things and believe in different things, right? And have feelings about these things. But this is stupid, right? Like this is
It,
pretty
it,
dumb.
i- it is. And the dumbest thing is they're going to print it in Korea and send it over to the Koreans. The
Like,
thing is, these cut this type of game, they've got some slightly worse. So this is just the standard for them. They ain't going to care about your petition. They're like, this is just a regular Tuesday. And then trying to get it into Sony headquarters in America is absolutely hilarious. I want to see that. I want to. What is it? Not a video dev diary. No, not a blog of them strolling up to Sony headquarters to give them the petition. I would love to see it personally. because I know how that's gonna go. They're gonna tell him to piss off. So
Yeah. Like, yeah, listen. Again, like Lionel says, exactly. Stand up for what you believe in. Only you have the power to free yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Only you have the power to have this freedom of expression to just say whatever, you know? Okay, so anyway, there's this video. We're gonna go ahead and play it as well. It's from the developers. Okay. It says, is there any thinking of rolling back to this to the version before the censorship? Also want to ask you whether recognizing the issue regarding this. Understandably, we also recognize about this issue. However, the final costume that we want to show you is indeed the costume in version 1.0.0.2. I want to clarify that this is our final product. However, I know this answer is not enough to convince our users. There is an internal discussion ongoing regarding this. But you will have a chance to answer it soon. All right, so there you go, you guys. Hopefully, you'll get your you'll you'll get your stuff uncensored if that's what you're into. You know what I'm saying?
or
Go ahead.
hopefully for those people who got the game, hopefully who believe in this petition, hopefully you guys go on your want soon, or just wait for the PC release, and then you can all your problems will be solved for you in a matter of hours. So I mean, enjoy, and it looks like a great game. So
Yeah, honestly speaking, yeah, so I wanna talk about the hard R situation, but when Slow-Mo gets back. So, what's up, PS? What's up, Dorian? Yes, this is a great get a PC, guys. Get a PC.
yeah.
It's more accessible than ever. What's up, Texas? What's up, H-Dog? What's up, guys? How are y'all doing? What's up, Karan? How you doing, buddy? Alright, but yes, Phil, what's goody? Okay, so I did wanna actually talk about the game, so I got the chance to play it. I bought it this morning, and I am 3 hours in. I was able to continue from the demo. I beat the demo boss, but they had me fight him again, and that's okay, but I was definitely like, "I don't remember how to play this game." So I had to go back to the tutorial and do, like, the, practice fights and stuff. I heard that they fixed the input lag, which is, like, big for me because that was a huge issue. Like, as I was playing through the demo, I was like, "Am I ass? Like, do I just suck at parrying now?" And I was confused. I was scratching my head. I beat Sekiro 4 times. So I like fucking parrying. I have fun with that. I like that kind of combat. I played Thymesia because of the parry system. So I was kind of, just scratching my head. And then I saw other people say the same thing, that the parry felt weird. It felt like the input was off. And I was like, okay, thank God it's not just me. I'm not just fucking trash, right? So they fixed that. And I also have the updates that make parrying easier. So I am doing better at that. I'm enjoying the game. Honestly speaking, again, since I watch anime, I don't really think about things the same way as other people do when it comes to half naked women. It li
Oh, trust me, you take any anime today, and the fan service will be off the chart.
Yeah, like, not even just today. You seen High School of the Dead?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
you
no,
know exactly what scene I'm talking about.
let me tell you,
You know
that
what's
is
up.
an anime that everyone should watch. The plot is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it is good. What's up, JFKTV? What's goody?
and
Because
and including and including the scene you're on about. But
yeah,
uh,
like, come on, the scene that I'm on about, when I've been watching anime since I was fucking 6. When I remember when I had, like, AOL startup, and I would sit at my computer waiting for my computer to fucking boot up, y'all. I'm fucking old. Boot up to the, internet, right? And I still, Kiss Anime, you guys remember that site? Watching
oh
my
yeah,
little you already fucking know how it goes, boo. But
I
yeah,
was sad when Kiss Anime went away.
yeah, me too. I mean, I watch anime legally now, but, like, as a kid, you did what you had
I,
to fucking do.
I mean, I personally still don't, because why am I going to pay for something I can have for free? I mean,
That's fair. That is your right, and I don't blame
hmm
you for that. Um, because I definitely read manga illegally. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna fucking hold you. I definitely do
oh
that
yeah,
shit.
of course, yeah.
I definitely do that shit. So, I'm gonna buy Solo Leveling though. I didn't know they had a physical copies of it, that is, until Slomo told me today. He went to the bookstore. So I'll be doing that in support, even though I know he passed, right? But still support of the series in general. So, and show them like, hey, we want more of this in anime format. But yeah, so again, so I've been watching anime since I was very young. I have unfortunately been exposed and have seen things since I was young, things that I shouldn't have been seeing. All right, things I should not have been fucking seeing. So the way I view these things is different from non-anime watchers or people who only watch and there's nothing wrong with just watching mainstream. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but mainstream is not like I've watched different series that will never come over here, will never be popular over here, and series that have very different things to them, right? So me, I don't really pay attention or even notice what Eve is like wearing. I'm not really like focused on that. I'm thinking about like the story. But that's mostly because I don't like the outfit she's wearing. I feel like I'm not it's just whatever to me. So if she was in a cuter outfit, I definitely would be paying more attention, right? But yeah, so I say that to say that I don't really care about like that aspect of the controversy. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I do like her little animation when she's sliding down the ladder. The ass physics, that's fun. I like her.
Oh, I did see that, and
Well,
personally, for me, I like it a bit, lean and mean in my JRPGs, like Tales of Arise. I had it lean and mean.
first of
Um,
all, you know exactly. No, I know exactly what you mean. And also, Tales of Arise is a great game example of how those were cute ass outfits, right?
yeah, they were really,
Cute
really
as
yo.
fuck. They got so much of my fucking money, dude. It's not even funny.
But the thing is, I had the outfits, but then I ended up finding there was mods to lose a little bit of the excess clothing. Um,
Nice.
hmm
Yeah, I
Wow.
mean, that's like even still, that's fucking basic compared to some of the shit that's out there. What's good, Delta? Uh, but yeah, yes, that is what I am referring to. What's up? That's part of what I'm referring to. What's up, King Metrochan? What's up, PS Rewind, Mr. Glass, Mr. Inferno was goody. Delta. Okay, so shout out to Face 23BK and Y saying Stellar Blade has a lot of pairing like Sekiro, which I love, absolutely love, 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 love that kind of content, right? Um, Yeah, and I agree with you, Dorian. Women do not get shamed for being horny on main. And sometimes I do see women and this only really applies to when you're talking about a real life person. I do see women saying super fucking disgusting, egregious things like sexual harassment, essentially, right? So I see women taking it too far as well, but they never get whacked. And I'm not gonna say never. It's they're less likely to get whacked than a man saying something that borders sexual harassment, right? Or even just like women being horny on main in general. Like I agree with you. I do think that there's a double standard there, but really it just comes down to women are just more sexualized. That's just how it is. You are more likely to see a guy thirsting over a chick than vice versa, at least openly like that. So sex is everywhere when it comes to the media. So Western media, that is. So it is what it is. But yeah, so I'm enjoying the combat. I'm enjoying the parrying system. Me and the dodging system. I don't know. I'm still struggling a little bit with that. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I don't like. I'm still struggling with knowing the right time to actually dodge. But I am enjoying what little of the story I've actually uncovered so far. I like Eve. I like that she's introspective so far. She's thinking about things that happened in her past. There was a comment about what are you slight spoilers, but like what are you as a person? What's your goal in life? Like that was a conversation that got brought up. So, which I always enjoy that conversation when it comes to artificial intelligence in media. Okay. I think it's something that's interesting to explore that concept of humanity and what it means to be human versus what it means to be a machine. So, I like that basic kind of plot line so far, but there's nothing wrong with basic. It's good. It's really good. But again, the main selling point for this game and why I got it is because of the gameplay. The gameplay is just it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's easy to get into. There are different enemy types, so there's always kind of like a okay, how am I going to approach this enemy? Because you do have to change your approach on the enemy based on the enemy type, and you have to change how you fight them, how you approach them, and how you actually end up fighting them. So I like that aspect of it as well. I like the traversal that is. You know, traversal beats my ass in every single fucking game I play. All right, like beats my fucking ass. I'm just like I fell in some water, but not the kind of water you can swim in. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was an accident. And I was trying so hard not to fucking fall, but I fell and I died. And I was just like, all right, well, fuck me then, right? So when it comes to traversal, it always beats my ass. But I like the traversal in this game. It is very much it's funny because it's like the yellow, it's like the places you can go are marked in yellow, and it's like I remember that being such a big deal on Twitter and people having like a big argument and back and forth about it. Like, oh, developers must think gamers are stupid, but it's just like no, there are some people who actually they need that shit because they struggle, like they fucking struggle with it,
Yeah.
right? So I like that aspect of it as well. I'm slowly getting into the upgrade system. I feel like you unlock skill points at a good enough time. I feel like the enemy scaling is good for where I'm at as well. I've not fought anyone where I'm just like scratching my head, like, what the fuck was that? Like, that's kind of unreasonable, whatever. I feel like every enemy type has been fair in one way or another, and you learn lessons. It's very much like a if you sit down the rest, the enemies will respawn. So it's a Souls esque in that way. But again, like Face 3 became, what I was saying, it's more like Sekiro when it comes to the pairing aspect of it, which is what I generally enjoy. So I remember after the demo was complete, they allowed you to fight another boss in freeform, have more access to some more of Eve's skills. And I also there's like this skill that allows you to parry even like your parry window to be even wider. And I'm just like, whenever I find that skill, that is the skill I'm gonna put on. Like that's what I want. Because as I was fighting that second boss, I was like, this is good. Like I like this. I like how it feels fighting this boss. I like the variety that I've been given in terms of how to approach this boss. I think it's a really good game so far, and I think that if it's something that um, you might be interested in, I think you should give it a shot for sure. It gets my recommendation so far. You guys already fucking know the way I struggle to fucking get my ass up and actually play a game. Like it's bad, Like I definitely struggle to get up and play games at this point just because I'm so tired and so busy when it comes to so many things. So I wanted let's look at the score as well. I've not seen it meet Puppet. Let's see here. Stellar Blade score. All right, so Stellar Blade is also sitting at an 82 on Metacritic, 9.2 for user score. The 82 is from 118 critic reviews, generally favorable. I will say this, even if there is controversy surrounding a game, I think we're actually past the point of game developers or game journalists like bashing a game solely for whatever the controversy is, right? I think that we're at the point where people are able to look past whatever nonsense is going on one way or another and actually give genuine reviews and give their genuine perspective of the game. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still outliers and there's still a couple people who come through and the Mary fucking Sue, you already fucking like websites like that where it's just their entire shtick is to complain about stupid shit and not actually play the game and just bitch, right? That's like a thing. But for the most part, I feel like with Hogwarts Legacy, I think Hogwarts Legacy got a really good score despite all the controversy that surrounded that game, and I think 82 is fucking fantastic as a score. And brava to Shift Up, congrats to them for having this game be so well received by normal people.
By normal people.
Yeah.
People, because they are not really normal.
Exactly, Blade X. What do I think about the enemy design? I love the enemy designs. It's very much like it reminds me of oh Lord have fucking mercy, not me struggling. It reminds me of Returno. And I'm talking like specifically about the water area in Returno. That's what a lot of the enemy types remind me of. Damn, that shit was fucking scary. I do recall that too. But yeah, I love the enemy design, the bestial nature mixed in. It's like bestial, but also insectoid, you know? So it's like a mix of both of those. So I really, really like that aspect of it. I love how monstrous they are. And they seem scary. Like that seems like a scary thing to come across if you are, there's probably a reason they're fucking extinct, right? So I'm talking specifically about the more insectoid monsters. There's like statue monsters, and I like that design as well. I think it's clever to have slight spoilers again, but they're real monsters integrated with the statues of the other. They're not statues per se; they're petrified. Let's say that they're petrified. So these are real enemies that have been petrified. So there are monsters that are able to break out of that petrification and actually fight you. So I like that as well. They also include a different kind of enemy attack animation. So I think that's really good. I think again the variety of enemies is absolutely fantastic. I love the design, and so far I've not gotten bored with visually from what I've seen, but we'll have to see as the game goes on how they are able to continue to expand on what kind of designs they have for their monsters. What's up, Slow?
Yo, what's up? What's going on?
Not too much. Lionel says, should reviewers let their political opinions get in the way of reviews? No, absolutely not. You are okay. You are reviewing a product. You review the product in itself. Whatever is going on behind the scenes and what's happening at the corporation, that's a different conversation entirely. Now, of course, that is a conversation where you can have room for nuance and context matters. Like, I feel like, perhaps depending on what the corporation did, you can have a different conversation about it. You could be like, yeah, I can't actually, in good faith review this product because of XYZ. But okay, there's that. So I said you can in good faith. Yeah, if you feel like your political views or any other views you have about what's going on in the game get in the way of your enjoyment of it, then I don't think you should be able to review the game. I think you are biased against it in that way, and if you are unable to overcome that bias in order to give a honest review, then you shouldn't be reviewing it. So no, I don't think people should allow their political perspectives to frame how they write the review. I please stop doing that. Actually, it's fucking annoying. Nobody wants to hear what you think about this situation when it comes to is this game good or not. But that's just me. Yes.
All right.
All right, you're back. What's up, True Bleed?
Do I sound better?
You sound much better. What's up, Autumn?
Yeah, I fixed it. But I'm glad you enjoyed Stellarblade. I can't wait to play it when it comes to PC because I know it's going to be a great time.
Yes. Gregor, you're right. I agree. If a man sends nudes without consent, it's legal. If a girl does it on Twitter, it's marketing. Yeah, but it's still fucking illegal if a girl does it. For real though. Like, so. Anyway, we can just Slow-mo, have you started playing the game?
Yo. Yes, probably about 3 hours in so
Go ahead
far.
and
You're
give your
talking about
perspective.
Stellar Blade, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. I like the changes they made to the input lag and the parry compared to the demo to the full game. It's a lot more responsive. I like that how they have like these frozen or like desiccated enemies, petrified enemies. There you go, petrified enemies. But some of them aren't. So you really have to like use the drone with the human that's like kind of talking in your ear the whole time. Your companion, so to speak. He's not just there to just give information and give you direction on where to go. He's all like, you have to use that scanner to make sure that you're not just, you're just walking along and then some enemy comes out of nowhere and just straight like side swipes you. Yeah, like because there been a few. There was this one time in particular, And I got into it was like a business office building or something, and I was heading over to this terminal or something, and there's this glass like for a conference room that I see that's like in the background. Not really in the background. It's in the same room, but it's like at the end of the room. And I'm thinking like it looked like there was like a dead human in there. And so I was like, all right, I'll check that out after I take care of this. And it's like as soon as I touched the thing, it wasn't a dead human. It was one of the I forgot what the name they call these like alien freak monster things, but it just bust through the glass at me, scared the crap out of me. You know, like I was just like, oh, and then I'm fighting, and it's just like there's so many moments like that are, pretty cool. I like the combat. I like the progression of it. I can already see right now it's getting to the point where I'm just like I haven't since I started playing it, the actual game. I haven't died to a boss yet. I've probably fought about 3 of them. I haven't died to a boss yet, and the more I keep upgrading Eve's skill tree, the easier doing like things like the blink, dash, past enemies, and parrying and all that stuff becomes. I can just see myself like probably really jumping into New Game Plus once I'm finished with the game, so that I can get a little bit more of a challenge that I'm currently getting at the moment, because it's not all that challenging, but I have died a few times just off of just sometimes not taking enemies as serious as you should, and then you get clapped and you're like, oh, maybe I should have stepped back and healed, that kind of thing.
I like the enemy that neighs at you. It's like
oh
like
yeah,
a horse.
like the horse, yeah, that guy, yeah.
Yeah.
I also like the one that does the okay. So there's this one enemy that does the whole like gas thing,
Mhm.
because it's like you kind of see it coming and you really need to get out of the way like before it goes off. But yeah, it's pretty cool. The puzzles aren't difficult; they're pretty easy to get past. I think that some of the before we get into I might as well just get into it. Like the whole controversy about like the outfits. Like I'm seeing some. I only got like 3 right now. I'm pretty early, but I'm seeing. Excuse me. I'm seeing some on Twitter that are just like, wow, okay. And it's like, so y'all are complaining about like these 2, like I see people complaining about 2 outfits, which even when they do show them side by side, I'm really like staring to try to like figure out what the differences are, because I don't get it. I don't, what are they complaining about? And I need to like read the comments
So
under
did you see what I sent you about who the top contributors to the petition?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the reason why I got this icon. because it's just like, I mean, I'm looking and I'm just like, how did you like when I finally realized what the difference is, like the little slight minute differences? I'm just like, how was this a big deal? How hard were you looking at this character for you to notice this difference?
Oh, they
Like,
were
what is they was looking right, and it's just,
Mhm.
and then some of the other outfits I've seen that other people have unlocked or whatever. I'm just like, so all of that isn't, just out and jiggling all over the place, and you seem to still be upset about these 2 outfits. It's just, you can't be for real out here. Like, and as Lucas said, this petition, hilarious. Like you have nothing good going on in your life if you sign up for that petition. And yes, that is me generalizing and stereotyping everyone who signed it, but I am fairly certain that I will not be proven wrong. Every single person who signed up for that petition is got nothing going on for them in their life right now. It's pretty sad. And
And I hate
I
that for
think,
them.
yeah, I do too, because it's ridiculous. And I saw the top contributors, and they're like, the fact you put your face to that,
They're super
and that
proud about it.
and
God.
that is your face. It's just like, what are you doing, buddy? Like, you need to. You need these are some things I need them to do. Take a shower. That's one. You might need to take two. I don't know. You might need to really scrub. Okay. Take a shower. Get a haircut. Go outside.
Talk to real
Go to
people.
some places. Talk to
Work
some
on your
people.
social skills. Hop in the gym, not because you're out of shape, but just so you can get those endorphins
Right.
pumping. You know what I'm saying? Do something.
You
Get
know,
out of the house because it's not good for you.
I said
Be
this
there
on
forever.
DPS a few weeks ago, and Forte may remember this. I was like, some of these people, I really kind of feel like maybe it wasn't DPS. It may have been lunchtime with slow mo, but like some of these people just need to get into other hobbies. It was lunchtime with slow mo because I was talking about people being in a rut, in a gaming rut, and I'm like, yeah, like y'all need to like you're kind of like overdosed on gaming. Because you even games that you recognize are quality games and games that are in genres that you enjoy, you don't want to play, or you're complaining. You're like, there's nothing good out here, and it's just like, bro, I don't know, man. Play some real games. You know, some physical. Like go join a flag football team. Go to.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I'm like, do something.
Do something. I agree.
Do something other than what you're doing right now, because clearly your body and your mind is telling you that you're tired of doing this. You're tired of playing these
They're
games. You're
overdosed on
tired.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Go out and hang out with some people that you haven't hung out with in a while. Maybe your friends miss you if you have them. I don't know. It's just like you got to do something other than what you're doing right now because you look weird, and I think that a lot of people don't realize that they look weird. Is they don't see how outside of their own perspective how people are viewing them, and like when you put so much energy and effort into a petition to get digital pixels removed off an outfit for a digital non-alive being so that you can look at it. I'm just like, I'm breaking it down so basic and so like that, so that like anyone who's listening that actually signed up for that petition or is this upset about this can really think about what you're upset about. You are upset about pixels on a screen. Not allowing you. Yeah, it's just like, what are we talking about here? Yeah, Singer, what's up?
You know the dark side of Steam.
I've seen some of the games.
That side of Steam. These are the kinds of people who play those games. If I was willing to, I'm not making any judgments, but I guarantee you,
that's a pretty accurate judgment. You were super accurate. You're freaking Hawkeye with that assessment. These are the people that play those kind of games.
Yep. You know, and they want it on PlayStation.
The kind of games where if you bought that game, you would hide it in your Steam library so that no one could see that that's the kind of game that you bought and actually played.
Oh,
you know.
Yep. Because you don't want no one to know about it, but I'm telling you, the people that sign that are the same people who play those games. And the other reason they're mad about it is because PlayStation doesn't have the same you throw whatever you want on a store like Steam does.
Yeah, I think again, it's like you said, Singer. Go to PC. If you want naked women on your screen 24/7.
There's thousands of games on Steam for that. Oh, you are well taken care of. Any genre you want.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so shout out to Face23 BKNY saying, Singer, what happened to Sony putting games on PC day one? You gonna wait to play Stellar Blade, a game you want to play?
Yes, I will wait for Stellar Blade. But no, when I said that, I said starting next gen is when they're gonna go full day and date. So the PS6. They're slowly building up to it, and then by the time the PS6 arrives, day and date. So yeah.
Okay.
So basically, don't buy a PS6 and just get yourself a PC.
Hey, so we got Lone Wolf Bane in the chat that says, no. in all caps. I'm not going to yell because clearly that's what yelling is, right? No, we are upset because we are tired of censorship on our game. So Lone Wolf Bane, you're saying you're tired of censorship. So this is something that you continuously keep seeing. What kinds of censorship are you tired of seeing? Can you describe all the censorship that you're tired of seeing? Is it all sexual based? Or is it, hey, censorship of certain languages or censorship of particular kinds of people? Is it diverse, or is it strictly you want to see digital titties and you can't see digital titties? I would like to know. Just
Okay. Okay. Yeah, she was. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the hard R situation. I want to wait till you were here. Yeah, okay. Quality Gaming, we talked about Stellar Blade for about an hour. So you're just late. Like, if you want to hear our thoughts on Stellar Blade, you can go ahead and start the show from the beginning. And you can hear my perspective. I'm not very nice about it, but you can go ahead and hear my perspective on it. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up the hard the hard R situation. All right. Okay, so now, okay. Can I tell? Okay, I'll say it. So I've known about the hard R situation for quite some time, just a few weeks, right? When I first saw it, I definitely burst out laughing. I was just like, "Oh, they just hate us everywhere," right? But I, of course, obviously, I am a Black American, so I saw the issue immediately. It's the same with the Challengers poster. Like, you see it, right? So you just understand it. And so I saw it. I was just like, okay, whatever. I definitely I was just like, okay, it is what it is, right? But they went ahead, they patched it out like immediately because a bunch of people spoke about it again, which rightfully so, right? Now there are some people, there are some non-Americans, and there are some people who value their console more than their race. There's some people like that who are just like, I don't see what the problem is. I don't know what that means, that kind of thing. Now, if you're not American, you probably just don't know what people are referring to when they say hard R. If you are an American, I don't know if you've been living under a rock or something.
I coming from someone who's not American,
Mhm.
I've ever since like the original Xbox, I've been playing with Americans online, and the harder, I understand. Yeah, it's been
Okay.
very thoroughly explained, and people are like, "Oh, did you use the A or the harder?" And it's like, okay,
Yeah, no, well, okay, so let's say this, I can understand more if you're not an American, why you wouldn't know what it is, right? I can be more understanding about that. Now that being said, if you're not American and you're like, I don't see what the problem is, everyone's being sensitive. I personally think that you should just stay out of the conversation. It doesn't affect you one way or another, therefore there's no point in speaking about it because it doesn't affect you one way or another. You can think it's stupid that people are upset, but that doesn't really mean anything because people are still going to be upset. It's again, it goes back to you can feel however you want to feel about something and you can have your opinion on it, and you are free to have your opinion. You are free to express yourself. That's perfectly fine. But of course, there are people who are free to disagree with your assessment and just say, okay, all right, cool, But again, it's just like with this Stellar Blade situation. I personally think the petition is stupid, and the people who are heavily involved in it are very strange. But that's just my perspective. It's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You can think I'm wrong. It's just it doesn't really how I feel and what I feel about it doesn't mean anything to anybody but me, right? And then the couple of people who agree with me. So it is what it is. I'm not going to get angry or upset about it one way or another. And that's the thing. I was not angry or upset about this. Let me make that clear. Now, I can understand people who were angry about it. I think it's completely understandable. But me myself, I wasn't angry about it because I am jaded. All right, I am jaded. I laugh at a lot of fucked up things because of it's a trauma response. All right. But yeah, so I saw it. I was like, whatever. But I did get annoyed again, where it's just like, okay, so like whenever it's a black person complaining about something, y'all are so fucking quick to jump on. Stop being so sensitive. When literally
Mm-hmm.
people are so overly sensitive about so many stupid things all the time, just all the fucking time. But as soon as it's anything involving like a quote unquote racist thing, then suddenly it's you're being too sensitive, you're doing too much. I'm like, bro, I feel like I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like people being dismissive automatically of how people feel. I think it's pretty annoying. But again, you are free to feel however you want to feel, and I'm free to express my feelings on the matter and be you know, I don't know. It's just it is what it is. People no longer my friend did disappoint me by believing that fake ass post. I was like, what are you doing? But for the most part, people don't disappoint me anymore. I don't expect the best from people. I don't expect the worst. I don't expect anything. They're just people. So let's go ahead and go through hard R. Well, yeah, it's self-inflicted trauma. I will agree with that. So, all right. So explaining the deeply unlucky stellar. Oh, Jesus Christ. Explaining the deeply. Baby, not me struggling to read. Explaining the deeply unlucky Stellar Blade hard R situation. Stellar Blades review embargo was up yesterday, and okay, so this is the hard R shop. You know what I'm saying? Again, I saw that shit. I was like, oh man, that's not good, right? But yeah, so my thoughts on it. Slomo, you can give yours because I know you feel strongly about it.
Yeah, so like I saw this weeks ago, and I initially was like, "Yo, are you serious?" Right? And so then I already had the game pre-ordered, and so what I wanted to do to make sure that like this wasn't like a Photoshop or this wasn't like something that wasn't like a real big thing or wasn't going to be in the actual final game. I said, like I'm going to cancel my pre-order because I know how PlayStation is when it comes to pre-orders. And if it came out and they were like, "Yeah, we did it," and so what? Then I'm like, all right, well, I didn't want to have like those situations where the game already installed on my PlayStation and Sony's like, "Yeah, that's our policy. We're not giving you a refund." So I canceled my pre-order, but I was ready and willing to listen to what Shift Up had to say about it and made sure that they addressed it. And they addressed it by apologizing and removing it. And that was it. And that's all I needed, really. They didn't come up with a fake explanation like 343. They just removed it and apologized and moved on. And so I said, all right, bet. Rebought the game. That's what I'm playing and enjoying it. Now, I don't have an issue with Shift Up. My issue is with people because this whole entire situation is something that is way more complex than way the people try to depict it as. And then also there is a level of there's a level of context that needs to be like explained to people that they aren't willing to listen to anyway. And so you got people in the chat that are also being dismissive of like, other people's feelings and things that are personally offended to them. So like, if you are a black person, and you see that and you're offended, like you're justified in being offended by that. There are people who are not black who none of this stuff has ever really meant anything to them, that would like to place their personal feelings upon you. You shouldn't be offended because I'm not offended. And that has like nothing to do with anything. Like you literally can't tell someone else that what they should or should not be offended about. I mean, you can, but like they don't need to listen to you. They don't need to value your opinion because you don't understand what they've been through and what they have had to deal with personally. So it's so weird to see that.
I actually
we've been seeing.
real quick, that's such a good point, Slomo. Like I definitely agree with you there. That aspect of, well, more so the concept of people trying to like push their feelings on you, and by that I mean like people telling you that you shouldn't feel the way that you feel. Like people going to your post and telling you you shouldn't feel the way that you feel. You know,
Right.
just kind of like I. And you guys already know this. I've been saying this for years now, and it sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Your parents lied to you. Your feelings don't always matter to everyone. What you have to say doesn't always need to be heard. Sometimes people don't care about what you have to say. Sometimes what you have to say is not important. And I feel like a lot of people have difficulty accepting that inherent reality where it's just like your opinion does not matter. Therefore, I don't even know why we're having this back and forth. It's completely pointless. That's why I don't debate opinions. It's a waste of time. You feel how you feel, you think what you think, it's whatever. And so it's like w- when people say, well, if you don't care about something or blah blah whatever, right? It's just like you are coming to me. You're coming to my post to discuss this, or you're coming to my show to share your thoughts on and share your perspective, which you are completely free to do. But just because you're sharing your thoughts or your perspective doesn't mean I have any feelings about it. It doesn't mean I care about what you have to say. And depending on how I want the conversation to go, I will flat out tell someone, like, I don't care about your opinion. What you have to say does not matter to me. Your opinion is worthless. So it really does depend, but I think that's a great point, Slomo. And the same can be said about me. I don't think that if you feel very strongly about something, or if you don't feel strongly about it, if you don't think this is a big deal as a Black person, right? If you don't think it's a big deal in general, then that's perfectly fine. You're free to feel however you want to feel. I'm not going to impose my feelings onto you. It's a waste of time. I don't do things like that. I think we all make different choices in this. But go ahead, Slomo. I just wanted to say that I do agree with you.
All right, cool. So yeah, and I've been seeing a lot of conversation, right? And a lot of the conversation that I'm seeing are people who are taking their own personal feelings on things and applying their personal feelings to other people. As I said before, when it comes to Shift Up, I got no issue with them. They removed the placement of the graffiti with the sign. They did it because they didn't mean to offend people, as they say, and that's fine. That's all I needed. Now, when it comes to other people then choosing to say, well, this should have been nothing to be complaining about in the first place, that's where I have an issue. Because now you're telling people how they should feel. And to address the weirdo in the chat who just showed up for
You don't
his
need to
first time
address
in the
them.
show.
You don't need to address them because I'm going to block
I'm
them.
not. Like, all right, good. Because I was just, I mean, I'll address it because like that argument from them is not unique. It's not intelligent.
It's
And
just
it
he's an
doesn't
idiot.
come from, he's just an idiot. And he's saying the exact same things that people on Twitter have been saying. And what I say to that is you don't know what you're talking about. People have been saying hard R in reference to the N word for years now, which predates this game. Therefore, if someone saw hard R in the game, yes, it would make sense that some people would see it and think, oh, that's referencing the N word. Like, you don't need to have 50 years of history of hard R referencing the N word for that to be relevant. Use your brain.
Is something wrong
Regardless
with
of
the
that,
audio, guys?
can you guys not hear me? Hello?
No, I'm listening back. It sounds fine. Maybe something's up. Yeah. Well, oh, actually, I don't know if it's going in. Okay, guys, is it going in and out for you too? Because I have not turned my computer on in 2 weeks. So,
Uh-oh.
All right. No, it's fine. Okay.
Amon says it's fine. Sean says it's fine. Okay.
What's
So
going
look,
on?
uh,
Leaky.
look, TLDR, people who are using those arguments are using them in bad faith. You don't need to have 50 years of history of hard R referencing the N-word when it's been used in reference to the N-word for the past few years, and anything in the past few years predates this game that literally just came out. It could be 50 years, it could be 5 years. It doesn't matter. It predates the game, so there are going to be some people who will see this in the game and say, "Oh, this to me looks like someone could be insinuating something. Someone could be putting something in the game as a dog whistle, which has happened in video games before, which has happened multiple times in video games. There's a particular game that I told Luca about. I'm not going to reference it because the game's not out yet and it's been addressed. I'm not going to say the name of the game, but there are games that are in development where a team lead was intentionally putting white supremacist dog whistles in the game. It got pointed out by the rest of the team. They fired that person and removed all that stuff. So these things do happen in video games, whether you choose to believe it or not. Now, all that said, that still doesn't mean that Shift Up did it intentionally, and it doesn't freaking matter. The intent does not matter. How people take it is what matters, and how people are sensitive to other people's feelings about things is what's important. Now, let's address hypocrisy for a second, because I see a lot of non-American people saying, "Oh, you Americans are too sensitive. Oh, you Americans, you're always complaining about something." Luca, I'm going to pull something up here.
Sure.
And let me present, share screen. That should be it. So this is the list of banned video games by country. So all you non-Americans that got a problem with Americans having an issue in games and then saying, "Oh, you Americans are always complaining," you better hope your country isn't on this list, because there are games get banned or censored all over the world for a multitude of reasons. These reasons are because people in those countries found something in those games that was offensive.
Prime example, to jump on that point, Wolfenstein. In Germany,
Yes.
they had to remove all the swastikas
Matter of fact, let me
because it
just
was
go
hugely
find
offensive.
Wolfenstein. Yeah,
Yeah,
let me just go
They have
find Wolfenstein.
because that is incredibly offensive to Germany, so they had to remove all the swastikas.
Banned by the District Court of Detmold in 2010 for violating German criminal code, use of symbols in an unconstitutional organization, yada, yada, yada. Like every country in the world is on this list for various reasons, and they're not all the same. So do not come at Americans in general saying you guys are sensitive when your own country is on this list, you freaking hypocrite. And then two, don't come at the Black Americans when you don't know our history, our experience. And if you are making a game that is internationally sold, I don't give a crap that you're only from South Korea. You're selling this game in this country. And therefore, just like how in your country, if I sell a game in your country, I need to be sensitive to what you and your culture cares about. You should do the opposite. That's all I'm saying.
No, I understand what you're saying for sure.
Stop sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I didn't want to talk about the person in the chat because I don't. I'm at this point where I'm not trying to entertain that kind of rhetoric.
Trolls. Yeah. He's someone never been here before.
Yeah.
And they're just like either there's someone who actually watches the show and just only decided to speak now for this topic, or they're on a sock account and they didn't want to talk on their normal account, and so they felt the sock account would be where they could speak their stupidity, and they get banned regardless. So it is what it is.
Yeah,
but no, like I just want to say one more thing and then I'm done. I'm all for just like everybody having these kind of discussions because they're important, right? And the whole discourse around it is disappointing because it's so much of people talking past one another telling other people how they should feel about certain things. And then also, as you mentioned, Luca, people basically putting their entire identity on a shelf and just saying my race, my my family, where I come from, none of that stuff's important. What's important is that this is a PlayStation exclusive, and I have to defend it no matter what, even if I am a black guy. And it's just, you should be ashamed of yourself, bro. Like if you know, if someone called you the N-word to your face, and in normal like environment, you would not be just cool with that, but you're just
I
cool
mean,
with this. That's just
I don't
weird.
know. Maybe they would be okay with that. There's some strange individuals out there.
That's true. That's true. I would assume, and this is of course assumption, that most people wouldn't be cool with it, even if they wouldn't say anything, if they were too much of a I ain't gonna say the word. Too much of the kind of person that will allow that to happen and not say anything in the moment. Yeah, there you go. That's one way to describe
that's
them.
the C word you can use.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I didn't want to address that guy because he was trying to like incite a reaction the entire time. He called me stupid and said I was like self-harming. Like, bitch, yes, I was actually. Like, I did do that as a kid. Like, I definitely did. So, and I was just kind of like they were just trying to like upset me and like start an argument and get me to like yell at them and go back and forth. And I was just like that. I feel like that's I think back to early days of the show where I would allow the show to become completely derailed because I was arguing with people in the chat, and it's like a constant back and forth because I'd get annoyed, and then there was that concept of, well, I won't ban you or block you because I feel like that's like giving, or that's like saying that I lost or something. Like, I remember having that kind of mentality, but I was also I was also very young. I was like in my early 20s, and now I'm 31 years old. So, I'm an old woman now. I'm sorry, older woman. So for me, I see that kind of behavior and I'm just like, even saying the concept of a hard R doesn't mean the N word. I'm like, oh, this person, I don't even want to bother seeing. I don't even want to see that kind of rhetoric in my chat because it's just not true. And you guys know how I feel about you lying in my fucking chat. Do not lie in my chat. All right? We talk about real shit here. And I'm not saying like the quote unquote, oh, I'm so real. I'm talking about things that are factually fucking correct. Okay? So don't do that shit. All right? Now, again, the reason I fucking started with Black American is because I'm talking specifically about Black America. I'm not talking about anything else. Okay? But anyway, context is important. And that's why you should listen when I speak, because I give full sentences in which I will explain the context, and then I give the second half of my sentence, which is the subject, right? You can't just focus on one half of the fucking sentence. Focus on the full sentence. But anyway, so I felt it was important to not go back and forth with that person because it's a waste of time, in my opinion. It's a waste of my energy, and so that's just no point. Feel however you want to feel. And you know what? I do know that there are some people, like you said, Slomo, that do get on sock accounts and come to different shows to spread their little vitriol. You're a sick bastard. I'm going to let you know that. All right? You're sick. Okay? Like, take Cassie, for instance. Me and Cassie don't always agree on things, but at least she's proudly stating it from her actual account. She gives her opinions
Big facts.
honestly and bluntly, and she doesn't hide like these fucking losers, dude. I can't stand a fucking fraud. I can't stand someone who will talk shit about you in your chat on a fake account, but then, oh, we're buddy on fucking socials. Like, you're a sick bastard. Be honest, okay? It's like I said this. There was this video of this alpha cuck, right? Fake alpha cuck, and he was like calling this black athlete a thug. And I'm just like, just call him the N-word. All right, we know what you want to fucking say. I will.
Why he called them a thug was so ridiculous.
So dumb. I'll take an honest.
He called them a thug because he got a custom suit made and he had a gold chain on. He called them a thug. Meanwhile, actual like bikers, like white bikers, will be like beating the hell out of people in public, doing all kinds of like really gang kind of like activity towards innocent civilians, and they never get called thug. But you call this guy a thug because he had a custom jacket on with pictures of his teams in the lining of his jacket.
Like,
They want
just
to
call him the
call
N-word.
us they want to call us the N-word so bad. They just want to do it so bad. They're so upset when they see a young black man doing good. This kid just got drafted into the NFL. He's rich now. Got a chance to change his life and his family's life. Here comes this freaking loser with a 2-inch dick to come over and try to rain on his parade. It's
Yeah,
pathetic.
it's definitely pathetic. And like I said, someone said, I'm sorry, I fucking had to laugh, but they were just like, yeah, nobody likes black people. I'm glad y'all understand that now. Like, somebody said that during this discourse. Bro, I fucking started cackling. I was like, you know what? I'll take an honest racist any day of the week over someone who uses coded language. Just be honest about how you feel instead of lying about it. But anyway. Ooh, Blues said something great about you in the chat. Slow, go ahead.
I just saw that. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, Blues, and you should speak more often. I'm not trying to push you to, but if you got a cool perspective and you're open to hearing other people's perspective, I hope you speak more, man. And again, thank you.
Oh, I need to buy a gaming headset. All of my gaming headsets. Well, I'm not gonna say they're all broken.
Luca,
But
do
yes,
gaming earpods.
okay.
Gaming earbuds are the thing. I can't go back to regular headsets now. I just can't. This
Like,
big
is the
thing on my
audio
head.
good or
Yo, get good ones. The
like
Sony
the audio
ones.
for the other person? Like, can they hear you well? Is the microphone good? That is.
Oh, I see. I don't use that because I use my podcast mic all the
Yeah.
time now. So I don't know if it's bad or not. I'll switch to it. Not now because that would be like, it's definitely not going to be as good as my podcast mic. But I'll switch to it next time we play something. You can see how it sounds on mine. But I got the Sony InZone earbuds. There's the Sony. What's the what is it called? The ones that are supposed to be more for PlayStation. I can't remember the whatever. Someone in the chat probably knows them, but I actually bought some other ones that were made by. Damn, what were they made by? These are made by Asus, ROG Cetra True Wireless. I got that were pretty cheap at Best Buy, and they're pretty decent. I have them connected to my Switch now because I'm playing through Fire Emblem again. Yeah, I don't want to rock with headsets no more. I just want earbuds. Gaming earbuds, that is, like good ones. Pulse, thank you guys. Pulse. The Pulse Sony earbuds are pretty good too. They are pricier than headsets. So like the Pulse ones are like $200. But these Asus ROG Cetras that I got, they were like $70 or something. They're like $75. So like yeah, you can get some decent ones for.
It's just like, I just don't play games anymore. That's really what it comes down to. Okay, Nautical, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
They're trying to have me messing the audio up. Hold up. Go ahead.
Messing the audio up. What's up?
Do you have any perspective one way or another about this topic?
No, I mean that's Slow-Mo said it all because that's what we talked about on Thursday. I could, the whole situation with it happening is like a mute point at this point because they're fixing it, and that's all we kind of want to happen. And we're not going to sit here and cast aspersions and blame for something that could have just been an honest mistake. We just want people to do better. We want developers and publishers to do better to make sure they catch this stuff beforehand. Our biggest issue, or my biggest issue, is always with the people that have one point of view on one thing, and then when it has something to do with probably something that they actually care about, they have completely different points of view. Like their points of view supposed to be different. when we're talking about pretty much the same thing. So it just comes back to the whole thing about people following other people and not following their own minds, and that's kind of the unfortunate thing that kind of keeps happening from this. But I'm just more disappointed in the stance that some people had when it comes to this, versus some of the stance they had on other things that's happened over the course of like the last 10 years, because,
Shoot, the last couple of weeks.
Well,
Whoa.
yeah. Well,
Get that audio out of here.
Remember slow-mo. Remember slow-mo.
I knew it was gonna be bad.
Remember this slow-mo. This is what we were talking about. People can't remember what they did a week ago or said a week ago, and it just contradicts everything you just said today. So that's kind of where I kind of been with it ever since this has kind of happened. So yeah, but slow-mo nailed 90% of the stuff I pretty much was already gonna say.
And I gotta give Luca her props, because she said something. I think she made a very good point earlier this week about that in regards to how people tend to only care about the causes that affect them personally. And so when it comes to them, it's a big deal. It needs to be addressed. And if you don't agree with me, oh, guarantee I'm blocking you. Oh, go unfollow me right now, because I'm gonna keep talking about this until the it gets addressed. And then it's when it's something that doesn't affect them, they're not the target of the slander or the offense. They still got a lot to say, but they're trying to tell you at what level that you can care for it, and that's not acceptable to me.
Right.
Yeah, I did say this. I personally have just never understood people being prejudiced when, and I'm talking specifically about people being prejudiced. So this is like a slightly different conversation. I'm not talking about people who are just kind of like, oh, get over it. I'm talking about people who are actually prejudiced, right? Like, I will never understand if you're Black being homophobic because you know what it's like to have people hate you for something you can't change. I'll never understand being gay and being racist because you know what it's like to have people hate you for something you can't change. Transphobic gay people don't understand it. I don't get it. There are just so many things where I'm just like, how, when you've experienced this yourself, how can you even stomach the idea of being hateful in that way, you know? And that's something I've thought about for like years now. I just never understood it. And as someone who's, someone older, someone who's been around for a while. 31 is not that old, guys. I'm just, sometimes it's just fun to play it up. All right. But yeah, I'm just at this point where I don't expect one thing or another from someone, because people only ever care about things that affect them. And I just think that's unfortunate, because it's like you can't reasonably expect someone to care about your cause if you don't even care about anyone else, if you only care for yourself. I saw this post on social media where this chick was like, Black people, how dare you stand up for Palestine? Why would you do such a thing when XYZ, blah, blah, blah? I'm just like, okay. And thankfully she was getting whacked. But there are definitely a lot of people who feel that way, where it's like, how dare you stand up for another cause? How dare you stand up for another group of people who wouldn't stand up for you? And I'm just like, no, I hear what you're saying. But the thing of it is that I have the ability to care about multiple things at once. And just because someone may not support me or care about me or want to uplift me, that doesn't change that there are other people in that group that would. So I am not going to take back my support just because there's some outlier or there's a segment of those people who are hateful. It's just not going to happen. I can't do stuff like that. I have no interest in it myself. I don't. It's like when people were calling me transphobic because I was like explaining the Hogwarts Legacy situation and how J.K. Rowling has already won. That bitch is fucking rich. There's nothing we can do about anything, right? And like that fucking game had so much fucking diversity. It had a trans character in it, right? But there were people who were saying the game was transphobic, and you as an individual were transphobic for playing the game. And I was just like, you can call me transphobic. That's fine. I know who I am and how I feel in my heart. So you having this perspective on me means absolutely nothing. I'm not going to argue with you about it. I'm not going to go back and forth. Like, there's no point, right? So that's definitely how I feel about it. And essentially my post just came down to this. I was just like, at the end of the day, I'm better than you. That's basically what I used the Homelander gift. Okay, I used him specifically. Homelander is the most racist motherfucker I have ever fucking seen. Like, I unfortunately read that fucking comic. That dude is super fucking racist. So I specifically used I used him as a gift, as kind of like the poke fun, that kind of thing. But yeah, if you don't care about something, you don't care about the cause, whatever, it is what it is. But again, reasonably, you can't expect other people to care about what you care about if you can't care for them, right? But that's not me. I can care for things even if people don't care about the things that matter to me. So that's just how I feel about it. Oh, shout out to Blaze. How you doing? Saying gifting 5 memberships. Appreciate you, boo. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Oh my god. Oh my god, Autumn. It's so great to read. But yeah, so anyway, for those who've been gifted memberships, can you fucking submit topics for the show, please? Like, okay, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't got okay, my bad. All right, anyway, we just move on from this.
What just happened? you just like you switched gears real quickly.
That was hilarious.
It's ADHD brain, dude.
Submit topics. Never mind. I thought that they actually submit topics. Like, what happened? I don't know.
It just came out of my mouth and there was no follow-up. That's all.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
Okay, what's up? What's up, Green BCN? Oh my god, Autumn says Luca's a very empathetic person. I am. Thank you. Yes. Anyway, we just move on from that. Okay, so Singer.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that Xbox revenue and those console sales?
Well, okay. It's kind of the thing is, this shouldn't be shocking because, like, if you look at
you would think that it's new every week. but it's the same thing.
Of course, because it's all going downhill fast from the console side. Fortunately, Activision Blizzard is putting in work to keep the revenues up on the software side. So shout out to them. But clearly, no one gives a crap about your console. And it's going to get worse. And we said it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And more games are going to come to PlayStation. And then the inevitability will be they'll still have a console, but they'll be more of a third party. Well, they already are a third party publisher, but they'll just become one, and they're not going to focus on the console. And as you can see from the revenue, ain't no one give a shit about Xbox. So go get as what you should be doing right now, Xbox gamers, is build yourself a PC, because soon you're going to have all of PlayStation's games, all of Nintendo's games, and all of Xbox's games all in one place. So do yourself a favor. Don't save up money for the next console. Build yourself a PC instead.
So the funny thing about this is if you just kind of read between the lines of all the stuff that's happening around this topic, you can clearly see what Microsoft is doing here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you can clearly see it right now because they keep saying they're going to make hardware.
Okay.
But that's all content. That's all under the contention that people will still buy it. And right now, they are filtering down all of their with the messaging and everything, telling people that everything's an Xbox, everything's an Xbox screen. You can play here, you can play there, we can play everywhere. They want to see what the absolute bottom is for Xbox. And that will decide, like, if the bottom for Xbox as an Xbox consumer is 10 to 20 million consoles, that will probably be enough for them to make another console, but they won't, they just won't. They'll do like how Valve does, where Valve makes a lot of them, but they also don't overproduce them to the point where they're just sitting on shelves and stuff. You're going to probably get a situation where Xbox is just going to make consoles pretty much to order. I would be surprised you couldn't even walk into a store and get it. You might have to order it directly from Xbox in the future, something like that. I just think that they're in a moment where they're saying, what is the bottom of our ecosystem when it comes to hardware being a thing that we're going to drive, that's going to be a part of our ecosystem? If it drops to like 5 million or 10 million people, they may decide, we're not going to even deal with it no more. We're going to do something completely different, or just keep doing what they're doing now and putting their games everywhere else. Because it's just really, like, the writing's been on the wall for a long time. They have not changed the messaging. The messaging has always still been, you don't need an Xbox. So the fact that they're telling you don't need this, what do you think? Last year in April, 30% down in hardware sales, or devices is what they call it, because devices could be hardware when it comes to the Xbox and the Surface Pro. So those are the only two pieces of hardware they sell. So 30% down last year, 30% down this year, which is probably, who knows what that's compared to, how much they were down last year compared to. So they just want to see what the bottom looks like. Like, how far is this going to go before we really green light the next generation of systems in 2027 and 2028? I think they're already locked in for whatever they're doing this year, or whatever is coming this year. But I think the future is definitely under review, and they're going to see where the bottom of Xbox actually is when it comes to a consumer base of actually purchasing hardware, because they haven't changed their messaging in any way. Not from Phil Spencer, not from Sarah Bond, not even all the way up to Satya Nadella, when he's coming out here championing, telling people that we have 7 of the most played games or bought games on PlayStation. When he says stuff like that, he's not even promoting his own stuff. So that's just where they are at this point right now. They just want to see the bottom, and that's it.
I mean, yeah, I'd be happy too, because think how much money you're making for having 7 games on the top seller list on PlayStation,
and none of it's on in your system ain't even in the conversation. Think about that. Your console isn't even in the conversation. That just tells me that you really truly don't care at all.
But that's Satya's MO. He's a software guy.
Well,
and Microsoft wants Xbox to be like Windows, everywhere, global, around the world. And as they said again, Satya even said it again, and Sarah Bond also said it. Everywhere every screen is going to be an Xbox. It doesn't matter what screen it is.
It does not. But the thing is that, like, I can say whatever I want. They don't make it true.
Well, no,
but if they're gay,
I can say I'm gonna be in the next Dune movie, Dune Messiah. It don't mean it's true. Sarah saying every screen is an Xbox is not true.
But guess what? If their games,
every screen's not an Xbox.
But guess what? If they're looking at their games being the most sold games on other platforms, to them, that's them making more money than they were making on their own platform.
Yes,
true. Which is why, if you are an Xbox console gamer, you need to start thinking about your own self-interest and how this may play out for you in the long term. If you are someone that just plays on an Xbox console, you don't play anywhere else, you're not interested in PC, maybe you might want to reconsider, because some of the narratives about PC aren't really true, about how it's so difficult to play game. No, that's not.
It ain't been true for the last generation.
Right. And so it's like maybe it might be something that you might want to look into. You know, of course, if price is got you a little put off, then maybe it's time you look at the blue team, because the blue team is getting those Xbox games
Right.
and their own games. And all the games that everyone plays in general. So all the games that you still play, just on a different ecosystem. And because what's going to continue to happen here, and if you don't believe me, hey, look, I told y'all, if one game goes, it's no different than every game going. And what's happening right now, every time they talk about an Xbox game, there's always some narrative
You
included.
don't have to rub it in, okay? God.
Well,
hey,
I will.
I'm sorry. Anyway, but hold on. Let me finish. It's what's going to continue to keep happening is that we're going to keep hearing, and we've already seen about 2 or 3 like smaller games talk about this, but it's going to start being the bigger games, not just Final Fantasy VII Remake, not just what's the name of that game? Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. It's going to be way more games skipping the Xbox platform because there's just no incentive to put the games there, as no one's buying the console. The people who are on the console are barely buying games on it, and what is your incentive to go there if you already know it's not going to generate a ton of sales for you?
Here's the thing. I currently playing Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. If I was an Xbox only gamer, I wouldn't be able to be playing this fantastic game right now. Because guess what platform games don't skip? Steam, right? So, I get all the same games. And if you notice at the PlayStation conferences and whatnot, and a lot of Japanese games, you see the platforms: PC, PlayStation, Nintendo. End of. So if you enjoy a lot of JRPGs, you might want to think about going to PC or PlayStation. And yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Because games are gonna skip.
I do think they'll still make hardware, and because the hardware, I think, and some of this is I know they're working on, and some of it is just my speculation. I know they're working on a handheld, and even Phil Spencer coming out and it's, talking handheld talk at GDC. That was just confirmation of all the things that have been rumored. So they are going to do a handheld, and I think they're going to go no matter how bad these Xbox Series sales get, they can always justify saying the ability to pick up and go and move around and that versatility could be a boon for us, and this might sell way better than a traditional console. I think they're still going to do that, but the worse these sales get, the less likely we will see them do a 2 SKU kind of thing that they did this generation, where they had a Series S and the Series X. Next generation could be a Xbox handheld and a traditional console. They may just say, you know what, the traditional console is a waste of time. It's a waste of our money, and it's a waste of store shelves, retailers, because no one's buying it. And we'll just do the handheld, and we'll just put all our chips in over there. But even if that doesn't work, we got the fact that we're the biggest publisher that's out there. We make a ton of we are second or third when it comes to generating revenue in gaming overall, and we got an Xbox operating system that we're working on that we can just easily license that out to Lenovo, license that out to Asus, anyone who wants to make a PC handheld. Anyone, like we have other avenues that they're never getting out of gaming, basically. But when it comes to Xbox as a console, yeah, I mean, like it's the sunset's kind of get a little low.
I will say that the 2 console approach is the thing that I feel like that really truly did them in, because the people that buy, now there's a lot of hardcore people that did buy the Series S, but it's mostly casual people that probably bought that console, and most of them don't really care about none of the stuff we're really talking about. But the biggest thing that kind of happens from this, where the Series X and I hate when people say it. They say Series X is trash and all this other stuff, and I'm like, it's definitely not trash. It's being anchored down by a system that they just don't. It's nothing they can do with it at this point. They can't just get rid of it because there's too many people out there that have it. It's literally outsold the Series X by a great margin. So they're stuck in a scenario. Like I said, next generation couldn't come faster enough for them to find a way to get up from underneath that one. But once the narrative from hardcore gamers, from the media about games not running as well on Xbox and games not being games that come on both systems not running as well, not performing as well. Xbox games that come out on other systems run better on the competition. It's like a death nail when it comes to that type of stuff, and that's the stuff that gets around the most. It's like if that was not to happen, then most people wouldn't even care about any of the stuff that we're talking about. But once you get to a point where everybody's talking about it and all the casual fans start hearing it, and then that's when the voice gets even louder. So Xbox just needs to figure out what they want to do when it comes to their console saturation with the multiple SKU approach. Like I thought it was a lot of people thought it was a great idea for them to do it. I've always said that I felt like the Xbox One X should have been like the baseline system, and then the X should have been just the next gen system going forward. Like, yes, you're giving better performance when it comes to like the CPU, but RAM and everything else is like neutered on that system. So
I think I feel you, but I kind of feel like that CPU, the issues that we see with RAM with the Series S and its weak GPU, we would have been seeing the similar complaints with next gen games with the weak CPU of the One X.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying the One X should have just been like a bridge. Like it should have been a bridge through 2020 and 2021, and then the X just completely just be the next gen system after that. Like I felt like because the thing about the X is it came out in 2018. They never really, I mean, Rockstar is like one of the very few developers that really took advantage of the X. Microsoft really didn't take advantage of it because it was always being hamstrung by the Xbox One S because it had the same CPU but didn't have as much power as that one had. It was a very, very giant leap in performance when it came to the graphics card, the graphical fidelity of the games and stuff. So I always felt like you should have just moved forward with that and let that be the system that you kind of like moved alongside the X for like at least the first year to two, and then just completely flew over to the Xbox Series X. The fact that they're still making games for older consoles is part of the reason why we're still here. The only difference is PlayStation didn't make the mistake in giving two different SKUs, and they're two different diagrams of power. I mean, both their SKUs are the same. It just one has one has the disk drive, one doesn't. Xbox wanted to corner the market and says, we got the best of both worlds. We're going to give you the ability to buy your games entry point at a cheaper price by giving you this lower tier system, and then we want to give you this higher tier system that's going to do everything you want. And then what they ended up doing as of where we are right now is serving nobody. And that's always been the talking point around that. Is like when you try to serve way too many people, are you really serving anybody at all? Compared to what PlayStation did, they just said, hey, this is what we're doing. And if you want to get a non-disc drive version, it's going to be a little bit cheaper for you. Other than that, everything else the same. And that's what's worked for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
well, good night.
It is what it is.
It's nothing else that can be. I mean, it's almost comical at this point. It's like we talk about this not here every week because we got better things to do. But it seems like this is always a conversation that pops up and people are surprised, or you see these articles pop out about Xbox, they don't want you to buy an Xbox and people aren't buying them and this is why. And I'm sitting there like, okay, so they haven't been telling you this for the last 3-4 years? So you're surprised that numbers are down, and you're surprised that game sales are down on a platform, and you're surprised every time a European or a UK chart comes out and games on PlayStation sold 600% more than they did on Xbox. Are you surprised by that?
Well, I think you should be talking to some of these content creators, these Xbox content creators that weren't talking that kind of energy a year ago.
Well, because a lot of people don't. Let's be for real. I think a lot of people are coming around to it now because it's everybody's talking negatively about Xbox. But when that was
all
happening,
seeing it now. Go ahead.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I always tell people like, man, listen, and it was a couple of my like people that I really like, and I say, dude, you got to make content even when Xbox isn't doing well, because you can't have that silo of people that just feel, I mean, I get it. People are going to hate you and people are going to be like, yeah, screw you, man. You ain't talking about Xbox in a great light anymore. But I'm like, those aren't the people you want following you anyways, because all they're going to do is just bring down your channel, because when they're in the chat talking, they're going to be talking to people that don't care about none of this stuff, and it's going to irritate them. People like Slow-Mo want to go in there and have a fist fight with somebody. So
what?
That's what it be. Well, we all know, Slow-Mo, when people start talking real reckless in the chat, you start bearing down on people.
I mean,
yeah. And so don't act like you like shocked or confused by the statement. You know that's who you are, and I love you for it. But that's also what a lot of other people. That's what a lot of other people with rational minds and sense does when they're sitting in some of these chats, listening to people talk about things that aren't making any sense, and then the people in the chat champion that on. It's like the worst. It's terrible, honestly.
I'm actually kind of glad they're not doing a mid-gen refresh.
Oh, I told you, I said they shouldn't do one.
Yeah,
like, what is it going to do for them?
It's not going to make the sales. Plus, as we've seen from the PS5 specs, for example, like, you ain't going to get much more performance out of it. The CPU is a bag of shit, and it's going to remain that way. You could dial the clock up a little bit. I overclock my CPU. It only gives you a couple extra frames. That's all it does. It does nothing. Like, it's not a glow up. So
yeah,
I mean, it's it's just don't bother and just wait until the next generation comes. Or
there you go,
force the generation early before PlayStation.
Yeah, that's the only other way. That's why when we had
that conversation a year before.
And that's why when we had that conversation about, should Xbox have a mid-gen refresh, and everybody was like, yes, they should. I was like, no, the hell they should. What's going to change? Nothing. Nothing's going to change. So they need to, like you said, Singer, they either need to force a generation forward, which I don't think they'll have enough time to do with the timeline based on the leaks and stuff that the PlayStation 5 Pro is coming. They have the opportunity to come out before the PS6. I think that's the only avenue they have.
You see, and
that's what they're planning. I think they're planning to come out in 2026.
Yeah,
I think they're going to come out a year before the PS6, and they're going to come out. Their launch title will be, because around that time we should get Elder Scrolls 6, and you'd get Outer Worlds 2 probably at that point.
We might get Fable around that time.
Yeah, and you might get Perfect Dark around that time. And you might have a bunch of your huge AAA games that you've been waiting on for a while, and you launch with your new system a year before PlayStation, and then you go, okay, the new gen started, and then PlayStation will be like, okay, that's cool, whatever, and they'll have to get on board with the program. But that's what they could do, because a mid-gen refresh is, if you do one, then I mean, you're gonna have to convince people to buy it for one. So,
hey, remember,
their main issues is what I've said for a while now. Issues with localizing, their content for other countries, which is probably, it's going to be something that's going to crop up as well when it comes to them putting their games on PlayStation. And they're going to be wondering why the sales aren't hitting the same level of sales. Not ABK, because ABK know what they're doing. But like their other content, like why they're not getting the sales on PlayStation that they thought they were getting was, if you're trash at localizing your game for a different country, if you just think that it's okay to just leave it in English in a country where they don't most people don't speak English, then you're not going to sell as many copies as you would have if you had put the work in. This is what Sony and Nintendo do. They put the work in, and you don't do that. And so when you don't do that, you don't market your devices, you don't work with retailers in different countries to make sure that you're getting relevant store space in their stores so that people can see your products. You got people out here who live in different countries. They don't even know how to get an Xbox. They literally have no idea how to find an Xbox to buy. So even if they wanted an Xbox in a country where you do zero marketing, they don't know how to get one.
Also,
that's why they shouldn't make another SKU or a big gen refresh, because you don't know how to sell it.
Also, to Blade X, dropping a year early. The thing is, you can then go about performance and power, right? Because your console would be more advanced than the PS5 at that point, because you'd have a brand new CPU, brand new GPU. You'd have all the bells and whistles. So then, for that year's COD, for example, because everyone loves COD. You could go, oh, it's 60 frames over here, but we're running at 120 frames. And people will go because they're like, oh, look at the performance. Look how nice it runs. And some people will choose, because a lot of the gamers out there, they'll just go wherever the game, plays best. For example, they'll go, okay, I'll go over there. That's fine. So, hey, there is advantages. So.
Alrighty.
So good.
What's up, Meds? How you doing, baby? Thank you so much for sharing your perspectives, guys.
What's up, Meds?
What's up, Meds?
Fallout 4 got its update, and it broke a bunch of things, which is peak Bethesda behavior. Is anybody gonna try this?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
The reason is, right, on PC we are blessed to have mods, right? An active modding community, and we've been playing this version for years now, right? This upgrade is only relevant for consoles. It's not relevant for PC, because if you have, which you probably should have, had all the mods installed, all the content, all the graphical upgrades they claim, performance stuff, bug fixes, all that's already been done. So, sure, the only thing it does is break all the mods. So all the modders now have to go back and fix their shit for this new update, right? That's all it did for PC. This update is only specifically for consoles. And that's why it doesn't affect me, because it's like I'm playing the same shit.
Oh, okay. Well, I will be installed. Well, Fallout is installed right now, so I definitely will be booting it up. I have quite a few hours into Fallout 4. And let me tell you something. I spent a lot of time in the combat zone, and then also just building settlements. Somebody was all like, damn, Preston had you working, huh? Like, oh my God. Yeah, he did. I was definitely having a lot of fun with that. So I don't have any mods installed because I played it pre.
Oh, you should. Yeah.
All right, bet. Okay, cool. Oh, dear. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get these channel member topics, and then I can go lay down. I used up all my energy. Okay, so shout out to Bless. How you doing? I see you in the chat too, boo. Bless says, if you had money to go on an overseas trip, where would you go and where would you visit? I would go, first of all, okay, so this is a multi-layered question for me. Unfortunately, God, I fucking hate to say it, but I got to make sure I Google is this country going to be a problem for me as a Black woman? All right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta be careful. So, like, my mom does a lot of traveling, so I just get her perspective on how things are and how the locals are while she's over there. So, like, probably Japan. Yeah, I'd go to Tokyo. Um, but that's like, or Athens. I would do Japan or Athens, right? If Athens is okay for me. So that's
Athens.
what I do.
Athens is okay for you because I've
Right.
been to Athens. I've been to a couple of places in Greece. And yeah, no, it's perfectly fine. Like, but bear in mind they're not exactly they're not really white over there. They're obviously Mediterranean, so their customs are completely different. They share a lot of stuff with like Northern Africa. So yeah, no, you'll be fine. You'll be
All right, sweet. Well, okay, and I do want to say I've been to Jamaica and the Bahamas. Those are the two places I have been. All right, Slow-Mo, if you had money to go on an overseas trip, where would you go?
Greece.
Okay, twin, you want to go with me? Let's go, bestie.
Yeah, I'll go to Greece. Just because I was in Europe, and I had the opportunity at one point to go to Greece, and then it didn't work out, and so I just kind of want to go. But I've been to Europe like 4 times. Funny enough, I haven't been to England. Been everywhere in Europe but England, which is funny. But yeah, Greece would be good for me.
All right, go ahead. Well, Singer, I know you'd want to come here, right?
no, Japan.
Okay, I know that's right, bestie. Let's go.
Because I want to get. Well, there's multiple reasons. Because I want to, go around the huge peach blossom. What is it? There's this one park, and it's super peaceful. And it's absolutely beautiful, and I just want to sit down in it and just reflect. It's the kind of place where you just want to sit down and relax. And there's lots of gorgeous sites. I want to go to Mount Fiji. And then obviously I want to get the Persona exclusive console, that never came to the West. And a lot of the Yakuza merch that never came to the West, and games and consoles and stuff. So I want to pick up a lot of the limited edition stuff. Also a lot of like the anime and manga that is over there that never came to the West. And yeah, immerse myself into ramen and manga.
Anyway. Ooh, I'd like to have some ramen.
Yeah. Right.
Everything you
Singer, there's a question about travel for you in the chat there. Did you want to answer that?
Which one?
From Gregor.
Have to buy a ticket for his girlfriend.
Or she
no, no. You see, no, he'll be staying at home because I'll be getting some stellar yams whilst I'm there.
Nice. All right. What about you, Nautical?
There's a couple places. Vacation wise, Belize. I want to go to Belize for like just a tropical getaway vacation. With my wife, well, vacation with my wife would be there too, but with my wife, a place that she wants to go to Johannesburg. She wants to go there. And for myself, I have to go to Japan. Japan is like always been at the Japan and Cairo are two of the top places that I wanted to go since I got out of college.
Nice. Okay. Especially the Cairo. That sounds awesome, dude. I love that.
Every time I watch Indiana Jones and whenever they're in Cairo, I always look at it and I'm just like, I have to go to Cairo because it's so different from everything else. And I do at some point want to start categorizing when I go to the different wonders of the world and stuff to go see them. Like even one of my bucket lists is to go, not to climb Mount Everest, but to actually go to the base station of Mount Everest, to actually stand in front of it. Cause I want to do so. I want to see something like that, not in pictures. I just want to see it in real life in Pakistan. So that's something I want to do too.
Also, I wanted to add, apart from Japan, is one of the few European countries I haven't been to, which is Iceland. I want to go there because sitting in a natural mineral hot spring, they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting in there with a nice, you have the northern lights right above you, picture, and just sit there and relax, and it's incredible because you don't even need to go to a hot spring. You could just find them walking along and go, okay, I'll go for a dip, and the water is super clean, and it's yeah. That's the kind of place you want to go.
Love that.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm doing some more traveling this year, so I'm looking forward to that too. Not anything out of the country, but I will let you guys know where I went after I come back.
She said,
Smart.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Yeah. All right. So shout
Some
out
of
to
the
Ronald.
weirdos in this community. They're like, oh, you're coming to my town. And be like, oh boy.
Yeah, I
You don't
can't
want
let them
that.
know where I'm going or when I'm going. I'll just
Nope.
like when I went to Tampa, I didn't tell anyone I was going to fucking Florida until I got back. I was like, here are the pictures, and you're like, damn, you were in Florida? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Trust me, if it's people that you want to see while you
came to my town, we could have met up so I could have turned you into a lamp.
Guess what? Turned you into a lamp. Guess what? The people trust
the
me.
lotion
This is why I always tell people, man, you was in my area, you ain't let me know. That's because she didn't want to see you. Trust me, people reach out to people in cities that they're in if they know people there. If they didn't reach out to you, just take a hit.
There is a reason. Yes.
There is a reason they didn't reach out to you.
Shout out to Ronald, who said, as a society, we reward the most degenerate and illegal behavior. That we do. It's okay to move a couple of things and put it on a scale. What is attractive about having to go to prison or worse? Once again, there is this debate that adults, particularly men, cannot play video games. You can live a happy and healthy life as an adult who plays video games. I'm a full-time student. I still manage to go out with friends, take care of my finances, and still live a satisfying lifestyle. You just gotta understand, Ronald, the people who have that perspective are ignorant on what it means to be a gamer. They have a very specific idea in mind, which is like, a basement dweller, a nerd who wears glasses, lives with their mom, doesn't get any ass, that kind of thing. Like that's the kind of perspective people have, and they just haven't grown out of it yet,
Like South Park did the guy you see play World of Warcraft. When I don't know if you've seen the episode where Cartman.
Yeah, I have that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep, and there's that old dude in the room. That's what these people think gamers are, right there.
Okay, so you guys are all men who game. Do you have any advice for Ronald or any comments on it anymore?
Ignore people who don't have any importance in your life trying to tell you what you should be doing with your life.
Exactly.
That right there.
You make money and you have your own finances and you are good to go with that stuff. Spend your money on whatever. The same people who would tell you you're childish for playing video games or sitting around watching Real Housewives or whatever, ain't now a single one of them a wife in the TV show. They're watching the same old tired garbage on TV. They ain't doing nothing with their free time either. So
listen, unless that person, even these people, I still wouldn't listen to when it comes to stuff like. But unless that person is a person that's literally forever working and don't have any downtime, I don't pay them no. It's like so because everybody has something that they are doing that is a waste of time. I mean, you may think it's a waste of time, but to them it might be therapeutic. It's like some people just like to sit there and watch sitcoms and TV all day when they're off work or when they're done with anything. People like, that's kind of people's unwind time. So I always look at it like
what's happening in here? What's
right.
happening in here?
Like we're doing this because we like having conversation with each other. We like talking to each other.
You
we
want
like,
to be winning?
and we like sharing our opinion.
That's actually a really good point because like we literally are just sitting here like every week just talking about just yapping.
I mean, no,
you know?
I'm more interested in playing the free for all or something.
Oh, that'd be fun. Remember when we played Halo?
Oh man.
Woo! Shout out to Don Julio and Supervillain.
I was just about to say that.
No,
Shout out to
Shout out to
Don Julio. Don Julio is that dude with like 0.02% ability, but he got 1,000% confidence, man.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just I don't want to 1v1 today. I did the whole lot of that yesterday over the past couple of days.
Okay, bragging. I like it. All right, yeah, just don't. I would say, like, I understand that it's frustrating.
Visions, you 1v1 in Tony right now.
Oh, he doesn't realize that. Sir, we can hear you?
Yeah, I knew he was talking to somebody.
Who's the singer talking to?
Oh, he's in the Discord.
That was funny. No, that was my bad. I accidentally swapped the channel.
Oh yeah, no worries, man.
It's because that's the software I'm using, the Steel Series GG Sonar. It accidentally flicked through the Discord. So
yeah, I heard the Discord intro sound.
Yeah, no, it was just it flipped between the two. My bad.
Yeah, no worries. We're almost done, and then you can go play with your buddies. Okay, so but yeah, Ronald, I would say that I know it's frustrating to hear those kinds of comments. Like there was literally someone who said that anyone who watches anime is a pedo, and I was just like, it's just an ignorant comment. They're just ignorant. They don't really know what they're saying, So I would try not to worry about it. But if it's someone in your personal life who's making those kind of comments, I would say talk to them about it and be like, hey, I don't appreciate those kinds of comments. I actually think it's like super unnecessary. And then bring up something that they do, right? Bring up something they do that just wastes time. That's a waste of time. Okay. I think you should do that. All right. Just be like, yeah, I saw you watching and binging fucking Bridgerton season 2. I saw that. Sitting on your ass for however long it takes to fucking watch that shit. Exactly. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
But I would say be prepared for them to still, even if you bring them evidence that like, hey, look, the majority of gamers are adults and not children, that like, you're going to get them still. There's a high chance that they're not going to change their mind on things, and just even if it's family, even if it's parent or whatever, just make the attempt, but be ready to be like, okay, I tried to educate you and you still didn't want to be educated, so I'm just gonna move on and not care about what you really gotta say at this point.
You trying to go, singer?
Yeah. So what's crazy is some people be like, I saw that. Oh, you're a gamer, and it's like, oh, I didn't know people still did that because I came across that. But then they browse TikTok for 8 hours a day, and I'm like, so
that's me. I definitely do.
So what exactly are you doing?
Like, nothing of note.
Come on, Nick.
All right. Okay. So let me just go ahead and pull this up. Okay, so Meat Puppet says, what is your opinion of the Fallout Season 1 TV series? We actually talked about that 2 weeks ago, so you should go back and listen to that episode because we talked about that. And he says, I thought it was pretty good. All right. But yeah, we talked about it. I have not finished it yet, but I love it so far. I think it's fucking phenomenal. But if you want the full scope of what we discussed, we talked about that like long form there, and you can get an idea of our viewpoints. And I would say like a better answer than what we would give you here, since since we went more in depth on the show 2
That
weeks
we
ago.
did.
Okay, and
Good
then
series though. Do
very
watch it though.
so good. Like I love it so far. And then he continues with good weather now upon us. What is your favorite outdoor activity? Mine happens to be fishing. I like to go on walks. I take a lot of walks during the summer because let me tell you something. It's cold 9 months out of the year here, so I gotta get my ass outside. You know what I'm saying? And so I like to take walks when it gets warmer. What about you guys?
Mine is like, bear in mind, it's like raining and miserable, like 90% of, well, 98% of the year in the UK. So when we do get sunshine, I mean, I just do it anyway, come rain or shine. But cycling for me, cycling and swimming, because I absolutely adore swimming. There's nothing feels better than just being in the water. And I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but
Oh, I don't
that's
like being in
that's
water.
just a me thing. What, you don't like swimming?
No, I've almost drowned multiple times. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, not only that, I will tell you guys, when I was going from 5th grade to 6th grade, I was at the YMCA and I was being bullied. I was bullied that summer, right? And the girls like tossed me into the deep end of the pool. I almost drowned. It was a whole thing. So I'm not, you know, sometimes I
I
think back to my childhood traumas and I'm just like, I wonder if that like has an effect. But the fact that I don't swim might be that effect, you know? So.
thing is, for me personally, like when we were younger, you could we take swimming lessons and you get like a bronze, silver, gold, and then you could go on to do like lifeguard. So you can, how to save people who are drowning and whatnot. So I did all that, and that was back when I was like 14, coming up around then. And I've just always loved swimming and it's also much better for your joints than I find with running,
I agree.
because the water obviously does what the water does. And so I don't know, I just find it super relaxing. I just like the
Mm.
water, although I don't like the sea because that's scary.
Oh,
Because
yeah, there's a lot of
there
scary
are a
stuff
lot
in the
of
sea.
animals in there that want to kill you and will kill you. So nah, yeah, I'm good.
Alright, okay, let's see here. Okay, so I just wanna shout out my channel members. Shout out
Channel
to
members.
Gregor, Cassie, Autumn, Michael, and Blue, Moon FC. Those were the gifted subs from Blaze, so shout out to you. You know what's funny? Cassie is always being gifted a sub. Like, she always ends up being in the chat at the right time to be gifted a sub. I fucking love that is so funny to me. But, shout out to you, Buki. But yeah, so shout out to those 5. Please submit topics for the show next week. I would appreciate it. But, and then shout out to Outlaw, FTW, Arcade, Bless, Drab, Neil, Mass Produce, Kenneth, Miko, Phil, Lionel, Fonz, Meat Puppet, Yobi, King Metrochan, Texas Lean, Corey, and Bandy Ben, and Marben Israel, Damien, Dolo, Tevin, Ronald, Dealer, MJ, Dirk, Scrotum, Lord Jorinza, Kinney, DC, Big Daddy, Smitty, Subnegro, Jazzy, Dom P, Duckman, Sycamore, Zion, Brisky, Light Strife, Papitio, Nautical, Jet, Envy, Slomo, and Hannibal for being members of the channel. I appreciate you guys so much for supporting me in this way. Shout out to all the people hanging out with us tonight, even some of the cucks. And shout out to the big dono from Yobi. Really appreciate you, my guy, as always. Nothing but love for you. Thank you, Face23BKNY as well. Appreciate you guys. Oh, sorry, Singer, you got it.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys for supporting me in this way, and also Blaze for gifting the membership. Shout out to everyone who listens after the show. Okay, so listen, God, like, please don't be annoying in my comments.
Oh, you already know it's good.
Please. I don't
Too
want to.
late.
I don't want to argue. I don't say what you have to say. I won't argue with you. Okay, we can just know that I'm not going to argue with you. You can just say whatever. But yeah. So anyway, shout out to all the comments for later, and yeah, we will go ahead and do our outros, and we'll catch you guys next week. Mrs. Shlomo.
Say again?
Slow-mo?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I was like, it's trying to do the thing where it's like the incel thing, with the talking. Okay.
Okay. Great show. Had a good time as usual. Shout out to everyone who is going to spend the rest of their weekend playing games or doing other things that they enjoy. Shout out to all the incels who are triggered off of this podcast and going to leave Luca very long dissertations on why
I'm
she's
not reading
wrong,
it.
but really, when it all comes down to is they want to wank off to a digital representation of a woman. Shout out to you too. Shout out to the guys that like to use sock accounts to jump in the chats and try to antagonize people. You're still a loser. And hope you guys all have a great rest of your night.
Alrighty, go ahead, Singer.
To follow up what someone said, if you want to spank the monkey, there's plenty of good websites out there. You really don't need video games for that. Trust me. It is the internet. It exists. There's plenty of websites. Anyway, yeah. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panel. Apart from the weirdos. I mean, keep doing you. I'm not judging. And yeah, I'll see you all later.
All right, Nautical.
Yo, great show, great chat, great just overall. Like Slumbo said, enjoy the games that you're playing if you actually like to play games. Enjoy the different conversations that people are having, but don't take those conversations at face value. Have your own opinion, because your opinion does matter. It doesn't have to be parroted from somebody else's. But enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and we will see you guys next week.
Alrighty, guys. I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Good night, guys.
Go touch a woman consensually.
Consensually.
Oh,
I'm
well,
glad you added that.
that's your
I'm glad you
problem.
added that.
Oh,
Go touch a thigh.
that's your problem. You can't touch them consensually.
Go touch some grass and then work your way up the chain.
Listen,
It's all about self-improvement, y'all. All right, peace, guys.
that squirrel might take offense.